Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, we got an absolutely wonderful show coming your way today. I am in Atlanta, Georgia. Normally, you catch me in California, or you catch Michelle and I are in Texas, but we're in Atlanta, Georgia. Getting ready to have a lot of major events here, and it's just a wonderful thing, y'all. My main man, Clement Johnson, is going to be receiving his doctorate degree and also a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. And I know you all been watching this show, so you know that great man. And I tell you, it's a lot of great folks that's going to be here this week, and I'm just excited, and hope you guys are excited. I'm even more excited about this week because my new book, A Black Man Point of View, Mind, Body, and Soul, is going to be released June the 6th. It's on pre-sale right now. Amazon. It's in hard copy, soft copy, ebook. And, it's just, this book is, in my opinion, I'm not saying because I wrote it, but I also had 11 contributing authors that wrote their story in it as well, discussing how difficult times have been. Sometimes being a Black man, because just face it, 400 years of colonization, our generations and generations of the past, had to endure so that we can have and be free where we are today. And it's always have been a challenge, especially grasping and understanding that sometimes just because of the color of your skin, just because of your religion, just because a lot of times that you might not look like somebody else or believe what somebody else is, that makes you different. But I tell you, we have to look at the past generations, and we have to learn. We have to put our mind, body, and souls together and learn to love and not hate. So a Black man point of view is not about Black people. It's about all people. But it's a history of what the Black man had to endure in order to, be considered a person of self-worth. And a lot of people don't want to talk about history. They want to push that to the side because they only want to see the good things prior to, going over in Africa and taking the people away from there, putting them on boats, bringing them to all of these different countries where I believe that the Black man built most of a lot of countries and deserving of honor, integrity, and that's what we do. So today, I got two of the co-authors in this book that's going to join me today, and we're going to talk about A black man point of view, mind, body, and soul. We're also going to dig deep with them and find out exactly um, what what made them, first of all, be part of this work. Secondly, let's listen to their story and just learn to get educated, love, not hate, and just move forward because we all are doing great things. So I'd like to introduce you to the first one of the guests today. His name is Dr. Clement Johnson. Just like I just told you, he's going to be in Atlanta with me tomorrow, and he's going to be receiving a doctorate degree and also his Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award because this is a great man doing a lot of great things, and you'll hear from him shortly. My next guest is, I call him my little DAWG. We call him G Soldier. We're talking about Lacey, and Lacey Turner. This guy right here, young man doing some great things, producing movies, writing music. I'm just doing a whole lot of great things for society and educating our public that you can be and you can do anything that you set your mind to. So you getting ready to hear from two great young men. I can call them young men because I'm older than both of them. So first of all, hey Clem, can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about you, where you grew up, and just tell them what you do?
Outstanding. Well, I'm pleased to be here, JC, and I'm really pleased to be part of the book. I'm Clement Johnson. I was originally born in Newark, New Jersey. I'm one of them migratorial families that migrated from New Jersey and finally ended up in California, where I grew up in the city of Compton. I'm a retired military, retired government contractor, also several years of education, several bachelor's degrees, master's degree, went to Columbia University, received a master's there from information and knowledge strategy now to pick up my PhD. I own a technology company. My technology company is Clemtech LLC. You'll hear about our operational technology product, Clement. And we've been in business for, this is our 13th year. JC?
Kind of lost me for a second or so. So yes, that's Clement Johnson. Let's find out who my main man Stacy Lacey is. Lacey, tell them a little bit about you.
All right, how y'all doing? Y'all know I bring the energy. I am your favorite rapper, the best film writer and director in St. Louis. Facts, award-winning published author, actor, journalist, actor, business owner, nominated artist, Lacey G. Soldier Turner. Now, with saying all that, that's my thing. I do. You know what I'm saying? I got to group my brand. But yeah, I write and direct movies. I've been writing and directing professionally since 2015. I graduated from one of the best colleges, Webster University, for film production. Along my journey, I have won numerous film awards. I try to make films that touch on issues and subject matter that people try to sweep under the rug, such as like bullying, mental illness, domestic abuse, stuff like that. I've been doing music my whole life. I just recently got nominated for the Hollywood Music and Media Awards last year in Hollywood, California. So that was great. I got the plaque on my wall, but just the things I do show me that I've been, on the right path, and I've always strived to show people who come from poverty, such as myself, that you can do anything that you put your mind to. So that's about me. I'm for the people.
So yes, sir. You're doing some great things in St. Louis. You was on the show not too long ago where you had completed a couple of movies and a short film that we featured on E360 television, a work of art. So hey, Lacey, so you are an author in this writing here. Can you tell our viewers and listeners why you chose once you read the book? portion of it, why you chose to be a part of this book.
But first off, because of this great man named James Cooley, you know what I'm saying? He like a father to me. Nah, just play, but now for real, James Cooley, man. Once I was on his show, I felt like he was like a phenomenal man. He really cared. The things that he's doing in the community, I felt was very powerful. So when he reached out, he was like, "Yo, I really want the real people, the important people, to be a part of this," and it was my honor for him to even ask me. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt it was very important, especially the subject topic that what the book was about, because me as a Black man, especially in the youth, I've been through so much, so it was very important to me to put my personal viewpoint inside of this book, and I think the book is going to be phenomenal. But that's why I wanted to become a part of it, because I know there's going to be a lot of intelligent, successful Black men from all over, the world contributing to this book.
Wow. Hey, Clement, can you tell our viewers why you decided to be a part of this book, and you doing so many great things out there yourself with your companies and just helping people, traveling the world. I think you've been to Africa about 10, 15 times, maybe more than that. Can you tell our viewers why you decided to be in the book?
First reason I decided, JC, was, first of all, you asked me, and I'm going along with G Soldier on that. Just a great individual. At that time, we were just in the getting to know us process, and I was in the spirit that I am talking to a great individual, and that's you, JC Cooley. On another note, I have been doing research about our history and about Black authors, and realizing that we need to tell our own story. And this coincided with me wanting to tell the story of Clement Johnson and how I became successful. My goal within this project was to project to people in my community, and that's the Black community, that there's always hope, and it doesn't make a difference where you start at. It makes a difference on what you do, and your relationship with God will help guide you through life. Now that this book is been put together, and all of us have read it and read the pre-edition, I think the authors within this book are going to tell a story that's going to be told throughout the generations. And I'm glad to be a part of this, and I'm glad to be a part of the contributing authors within this story.
So, Clem, what was the hardest part when you was writing your piece of this? The hardest part where you learn a little bit about yourself that you already knew, but you're like, wow, should I put this in the book? Should I share this type of information with the public, or should I just keep it to myself?
Yes, I think the hardest part was sharing how I grew up from a young age until the time when I went into the military. That was a rough part in my life. Didn't share all of it in the book, but I shared a lot of tidbits that kind of released the frustration of growing up in the inner city, the frustration of being raised by strict parents, and the frustration of being in the inner city but not being able to participate fully in the big city because of those strict parents. Being able to put that into a book was really hard, and how I laid it out was also took a lot of thought to do.
Wow. We're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back, and Lacey, I'll give you a little opportunity to think about the question, because you're going to get the same one. We're going to take a station break, and then we got the host of today's show is going to pick it up from there once Lacey answers his question. It's your life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley. We'll be back shortly after the break. chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do. Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, we're talking about a Black man point of view, mind, body, and soul. That's my new release that's going to be released June the 6th, and we are chatting with three of the co-authors that's in the book. We just got joined with Pastor Gary. He's going to talk in a few minutes about it as well. I've got Clement Johnson, Dr. Clement Johnson. We got G Soldier, Lacey Turner. And we got you. We got the audience. We got the viewers that's watching this show. So if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments, ask any questions that you like, and I promise you, we'll get you an answer. So, G Soldier, the question was, when you were writing your part of the book, what was the hardest portion of it that you discovered about yourself when you was writing, that you question yourself whether you should share that with the public or not, because either it was too personal or it was, something that you had been struggling with. And so can you share that with our audience?
Yeah. So I don't mind sharing my life, period. I'm an open book. So even when you write the hardest stuff, I feel that, it gives people insight on your life. So I wouldn't say it was hard, but just reflecting on how, as a Black man coming up in, like you said, the inner city, that how from police brutality, a lot of people look at me as being successful, but still as a Black man, I went through the same police brutality that people go through, or just the issues that we face, the systemic racism and everything in the communities and stuff. So just putting that on paper just let me realize that we still looked at as second-class citizens in our own country that's supposed to be the home of the free, land of the brave, home of the free, and all that type of stuff. So just documenting that just showed me that how we still look and how we still have a long way to go as a nation.
Wow. I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Michelle for a second or so, because she's supposed to be hosting this, and she's going to step in for a few minutes. And Dr. Michelle is yours.
Thank you, James. Lacey, so what your contribution to the book, were there things that you wrote in the book or you shared in the book that people who your family or friends would be surprised to know about you? Or was it something that they already knew about you, what you wrote in the book?
Okay. I think everybody, family, friends, everything that I wrote in the book, people know about me. Because like I said, I wear my heart on my sleeve. So they either saw it or heard it in my music or saw it in my film. So my whole objective is to always get it on as many platforms as I can, so that I can create dialogue with anything that I've been through. So,
wow. Do you consider when you do writings and when you participate and you contribute to this book, how important is it to be your authentic self when sharing your story in a book such as this?
I think it's very important because we already have so many people who wear these capes or disguise themselves on social media, and they don't know it's people just like us who are going through real life issues, who can learn from what you've been through and it can encourage them. So I think it's very important to be authentic, because you can show people, hey, look, I've been through the same thing that you've been through, and look at me now, I'm being successful in what I do, versus trying to act a different way or pretend like something's not, is all good when it's not.
When you look at when you see this, when you look at this book, and when Dr. Cooley asks you to be a contributing author, do you see this book even though it's titled A Black Man's Point of View, do you see this book only for Black men, or that men, women, anybody can gain a lot of perspective based on the contributions of the stories in this book? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, I think it's definitely for everyone. Just like the civil rights movement, like it's like holding up a mirror. It's like letting you get a view into the life, so you can understand what Black men going through. Because if you look, I'm pretty sure if you look at a lot of these authors in the book, all of us come from different areas and background, but we have share the same similar type of stories, the same brutalities, the same hardships are trying to come up. So not only is it for Black people, but it's giving the people who are interested in why we feel the way we feel. It lets them know, okay, I can get some understanding of this now.
And I'm gonna go to Dr. Cooley right now. James, so what was the hardest? There's plenty of chapters in this book. What was the hardest chapter for you to write in this book without giving too much away? What was the hardest, and why was it the hardest?
I mean, just like I mentioned, probably the most difficult chapter I had to write was Ultimate Love, Original Love. Because in doing this, you have to really take a good look at yourself. And you mentioned authentic. You have to be authentic. In order to love anything, anybody, you have to first love yourself. So Ultimate Love was the most difficult chapter that I had to write, because it makes you reflect on everything that's in your life and people that are around you. Are you being real? Or you being phony? Or you just living? And anybody can just live. I mean, you don't have to do anything but to live, but just wake up and not have any purpose. But when it comes to ultimate love, you have to love, first of all, yourself unconditional, regardless of what situation or circumstances that you might have been through. And you have to learn to love others and stop looking at them making judgments on anything. A lot of times we look at people, they don't look a certain way, whatever that is, we automatically judge them. And that happens to us all the time. I've been in the store or something like that, and I hate to say it, but I'm saying it. A lot of times, white people look at you like, okay, he's getting ready to rob me, he's getting ready to do this, we're getting ready to do that. I mean, I say we should not be looking at color. We should not be judging somebody. We should see people as people, regardless of where they're from. And we have to understand that we all have purpose. We all have purpose, and we have to open up our heart, I believe, ultimately, and be able to just feel whatever is going through, because it's all about uplifting people. And that's one of the things that I wanted to convey in this book. And I believe that the 11 co-contributors, authors in this book, I think they was doing the same thing, because it's authentic, it's real, and that's what it's all about.
This question, first of all, we have Pastor Gary Jackson joining us. Thank you. How are you? So this question,
I'm doing well, and yourself, Dr. Michelle?
Doing great, doing great.
Great. Hello to the panel.
How you doing?
Hey.
How you doing?
All right.
I have a question for all four of you, then I'm going to step away. So we're going to start with you, Pastor Gary, then we're going to go with Clem, then we're going to go with Lacey, and then James. So first of all, what your contribution to the book, what you wrote, was there another story that you wanted to contribute to this book, but maybe you weren't ready to express it at this point of time? So that's the question for all of you. We're going to start with Pastor Gary, then Clem, then Lacey, and then Dr. Cooley.
Well, again, thanks for having me on to the show. I think our main interview will be on Tuesday, but hey, I'm here now, and it's good to be here with Lacey, meeting him for the first time, and soon to be Dr. Johnson. So we appreciate that and taking this opportunity. But yeah, writing my part in the book was really a fresh experience that I shared because we had just came back from Ghana, West Africa, where we walked on the grounds and visited the slave castles from before they was loaded onto the ship and learned the history of all that. So I think the part maybe that I left out is my personal experiences growing up as a Black man. And I know we got 3 or 2 military men here on the panel. And one thing that I really wanted to share is, because Lacey alluded to it, that when I was in the military and stationed in foreign lands, I felt more of an American then than I do here in America. Because if there was any prejudice or anything, it was because I was American or representing the American military, not because I was Black. I did experience some things overseas because of the color of my skin, but that was the major part of it.
Wow. Hey, Clem, you're next.
And
Clem,
I think
Can you there?
for myself, can you hear me?
yes,
Can you hear me?
Yes. We can hear you,
I
Clem.
am unmuted.
Yes, we can hear you, Clem.
Okay, outstanding. So what I really wanted to portray in the book that I didn't get a chance to portray is who we are as Black people today, in my opinion, and where I think we're headed as Black people today. I think the narrative that is being portrayed to the Black community is we need to come together. We're not participating within society to its fullest. And that is a narrative that is totally false. We can see it by the people we have on this panel. We'll see it in Georgia when we go to our graduation. We're not telling our own story correctly, and our own story isn't being projected within our community, within the framework of success and prosperity. That is actually the case in the Black community today. I would have liked to express our relationship with God and how Black people's relationship with God and our intelligence is actually adding to the United States of America and how we're portrayed all over the world. And lastly, I would have liked to have portrayed in the book the history of how the Black community has added to the United States of America and has formed this country into what it is today. That's the piece that I wasn't able to portray.
Wow, that's powerful. Very, very, very powerful. We're going to take a station break, then we're going to come back and ask Lacey the same question. I'm going to respond to the question as well. And our viewers out there, if you got a question, if you want to respond to something, all you have to do is just go to the comments, ask any question that you might have, ask any question of any of these panel members that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley. We'll be back shortly after the break. Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, with four great men, and I can proudly say that these are my friends. These are my true friends, and each one of these young men are in a black man point of view, mind, body, and soul. And I handpicked them because you know everybody got a story. And you don't want to get the like story. Everybody just like. They did not know exactly what I was asking them, because I did not share any other stories with anybody, because I wanted to get their point of view on what they felt and how they felt. And I tell you what, each one of these guys hit a home run. And if you go out and purchase a book and read it and share it, you'll hit a home run as well. Because you have to be able to share things, and you have to have a roadmap on how things that happened in the past, how we can resolve most of those things today and pass the goodness to our generations to come, so that they won't make the same mistakes as we might have made and our predecessors generations have made, or our previous generations have made prior to us. So that's what this is all about. So if you want to be part of this great conversation with this panel, all you have to do is go to the comments, ask any question that you might have, and I promise you, we'll get you an answer. Okay. Michelle had asked a question prior to that. She asked it of all of us, and she had to go back to work. So we went down to you, Lacey. Was there a story you wanted to write but did not, because you were not ready yet to share of that in this book?
Okay, well, so it was so much stuff that I've been through in my life that I probably wrote the whole book, but it's one story that I want. Something more that I wanted to expound on more was bullying. The bullying aspect. A lot of people go through bullying in society, especially in the schools, and coming up may not know it because of my how I am now, but I was bullied, and just me seeing a lot of today's world, people, children committing suicide from being bullied, or people doing mass shootings. I really wanted to expound on that and show people how you can do anything you put your mind to. It's not the end of the world, if you're being bullied, because people feel like they don't have anything to live for once they're being bullied. So that's a very important topic to me and subject matter that I wanted to go into, but I didn't have much time. But yes, there's so many things. So that's one important thing that I wanted to do.
Wow. That's a very important topic that we all need to discuss. I'm talking about even away from this book. Bullying still happens every single day. It happens every single day, and we need to discuss that one. So Michelle asked that question of me as well, and so one of the things that I did not write in the book that I probably should have was that I want to talk a little bit more about my kids and the challenges and trials and tribulations that I had went through. I didn't write that in there because I was divorced twice, married and divorced twice. And sometimes we just don't get it right. We just don't get it right the first time or the second time. And we just have to wait we have to wait and until that God send that right person in our heart and our mind and our soul, and somebody just put us together. So I did not write a whole lot about that one, but I want my kids to know that, and not just that, but the viewers to know that life, it had to evolve. It had to evolve into what God's purpose is for you, what His purpose is for you. But it evolved into that, and we just have to wait, and we have to be ready. We have to be ready for that, for it to evolve. So that was one of the things that I probably should have touched on a little bit more, and that we all need to be aware of. You don't always get things right the first time, sometimes second time, but I sit back and I waited, and God sent the right person in my world that changed my whole world. And wow, I don't know what I would do without my Michelle today. So I guess that happens to a lot of us, but it's something that we don't like to share some intimate things about us in our lives because we feel that we failed in the past. We all failed in the past. The only
Yeah.
way that you can gain knowledge, the only way you can move forward, the only way you can be successful, you have to be ready for the future and be prepared for whatever God brings to you. So that's what I wanted to. I probably should have wrote a little bit more about that, and I didn't get an opportunity to do that. But it would be in the next one.
Yeah.
you know. So a question for Jack.
Yes, sir.
The question for you is, wow, you're doing so many things. You're a pastor, father, a husband, and you're out here leading because I've been at events with you where you go into the group homes or transitional homes where people coming out of prison or this and that. What would you tell our viewers and listeners um, that trying to change, trying to refocus some of these people that've been incarcerated that's out? What would you tell some of the viewers and listeners? Some of the things that you have experienced chatting with them that, as young Black men or middle-aged Black men, whatever age they might be, to be careful, and that if they start paying attention now, they won't find themselves in that type of situation.
Yeah, I think, Dr. Cooley, the most important thing is, especially the Black men in every age group, is identity. We have so many things in our lives that oppress us and try to take away our identity, whether it's our name, whether it's our pride, whether it's our education. Even you and I were sharing the other day about we can be so educated, but some people just look at us and right off the bat they think that we're not educated because of the color of our skin. So there's a lot of oppressive barriers that we go through, but the main thing is it attacks our identity. And when a person don't know who they are, and in the Christian aspect of it, we don't know who we are in Christ, then we're lost. And it's hard to find our way without that light, because I always share that this world is cold and dark. And we need, in order to find our path, like you alluded before, that we all have a purpose. And if we don't know who we are, how can we get on the path to find that purpose? Because even if we find our purpose and we don't know who we are, it's not going to work out. And our main thing is that when we know who we are and we humble ourselves, then we're able to reach back and reach over and grab the young men and young women that possibly won't have to go through the same thing. But I would say the main thing is identity, because again, if you don't know who you are, you won't have hope. You won't have joy. You'll have plenty of struggles and challenges, and not knowing who you are, you'll get caught up in that and won't move forward. That's the main thing that we experience in those homes. Because again, the men come and the women come out of prison, they're numbered. They take away their name. And I identified that. I think I wrote that part. I wrote that part in the book when it was in Ghana. It's a door they call the door of no return. And at that door of no return, our tour guide, man, he hit it, because he said at that point they lost their culture, they lost their name, they lost their family, they lost their pride, they lost their nation, everything they knew. So like Lacey alluded to earlier, that if we don't know who we are, we're lost. That sums it all up.
Identity is important. It is important knowing who you are, and just like Dr. Clement has said earlier, yeah, he's been over in Africa several different times, and sometimes looking for identities or generations in the past or ancestors, and so it's important that we all know where we came from,
Yeah.
who we are, and many of us don't want to do that. I know I was one of those people, and Dr. Eric Hall convinced me over the last year or so that because I was he had mentioned that you need to just go motherland, check everything, and then figure out who you are, the tribe, all that. And I initially said, God ain't told me to go there. God ain't told me to go to Africa. I mean, it's gonna take a lot of God gonna have to tell me to go, and that's what he runs a program called Africa Link, and what that does is help you find out your identity for from previous generation. So I believe that's important. Hey, Dr. Clement, what are your thoughts on that? We got 2 minutes before the break. Dr. Clem, you're on mute.
I believe in being centered also. Going back to the motherland, and just reiterating the ability just to step in the continent from which you came is a life-changing experience. And to our audience, I'd like for us to think. I know a lot of Black people, and when they take trips, they go to Europe. I know we go to Jamaica, and I know we go to Mexico, the Cayman Islands, stuff like that. But we need to start putting our own trips into our bucket list. It will change your life just to know that you have been from which you came. And that's what I think is important, JC.
That's important. And we're gonna take a station break, but we're gonna come back, we're gonna pick it up again. This is so exciting. And you know what? We're gonna be talking about this the rest of the week, and Monday and Tuesday next week as well. So I tell you, don't go anywhere. We're gonna take a break. We'll be back. It's your life. We'll be back shortly after the break. Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And we're talking about a black man point of view, mind, body, and soul. And we have three of the co-authors on with us today, sharing their portion, their story, why they wrote, and why they are part of this product. And I tell you, just listening to these great men and getting a better understanding, not just from reading their story in the book, but also hearing it from them. Hearing it from them. I tell you, words, you put words with pictures. I'm talking about the physical words, speaking it. It just paints the picture extremely well. So it's important that everybody go out on the 6th. That's when the book is released. Go out there. We're gonna drop the price down to 99 cent, and go out there and buy this great product. I'm not saying it's great because I wrote it, but I'm saying it's a roadmap that's going to help each and every last one of us out. Whether you're black, white, pink, gold, or purple, doesn't matter about what religion you're. We all are people, and you all are doing amazing, amazing things. And we need to pass this to generations to come.
Yeah.
So we only have about 6 minutes left in the show, which we had more, but I tell you, we got the rest of the week. But I want to go to G Soldier. Soldier. You're the youngest panel member here, and man, I tell you, just like I said, I'm so impressed at all the things that you're doing, and just the person that you are, knowing uh, your background. Some of the things where you came from, and how you turned over the leaf. Not that you were doing anything wrong, but you went back to school, got your education, producing our movies, singing, just leading them. And I seen you on the news, seen you've been on my show a couple of times, and you produce a piece that you talked about earlier about bullying. Man, I think that's a masterpiece, and I think everybody need to also go out and watch that piece. I think it was about 15-20 minutes long. I'm not sure, but it was wonderful. So what departed message would you leave our young, middle, and older black men on why they need to tell their story and why they need to understand a black man point of view?
Okay. It's important because look, you got to jump off the cliff of life. You can always play it safe with the woulda, coulda, shouldas. But what I'm saying, I feel this book even show you, get out and do stuff. You know what I'm saying? And do not allow, like my stepdad told me, before he passed when I was young, and I use this today. If you allow fear and doubt to creep into your mind, then failure is absolute. So go out and do stuff without fear and doubt. You're gonna fail, like you said. We fail at everything. Michael Jordan failed. Tyler Perry failed. Nobody was just came out and was great. So, and my last point is don't dim your light for the comfort of others. Don't be afraid of your success. Don't be like, I don't want to say this because it might affect somebody. Do what you want to do in life, be important. And that's why I feel this book is very important, because you get to see all these different black men, these different authors doing great things and talking about their experiences in life. So that's why I feel it's important. So make sure y'all get this book. It's going down to 99 cents on the 6th. So it's very important that y'all get this, not just because it's black men, but because it can affect your lives for the positive.
What about you, Dr. Clem? You muted again, Doc. Clem.
It's going to be amazing. This book, 99 cents is a great price, but the history behind it is going to be awesome. Also, if you're in Florida, make sure you go on the internet. Don't go into the school and try to find a book, because you ain't going to find it. Our history is everyone's history, and regardless of what nationality you are, if you have experienced some kind of discrimination, if you have experienced a hard time getting started in America, historically, all races look to our situation in order to begin the roadmap for their situation.
What about you, Action Jackson?
I think it's so much. It has so much value to it. You know, as Lacey said, for 99 cents, it's life lessons for generations to come, and it speaks to from so many generations, so many different experiences, and it's just awesome. So we've been encouraging everyone to go out and not just get one copy, get multiple copies. Get multiple copies and share them in different areas. One gentleman that don't look like us, he said, "I think this is great because I can take it in my home and read it in privacy and learn about Black men."
You know, I believe that many is going to learn this is not just about Black people.
Yeah,
It's about all people, but in order for us to understand everyone, I mean, I'm talking about black, white, pink, gold, or purple. We have to know the history or some of the history
yeah,
in order to be able to comprehend. And for the women out there, I know that they are going to learn a whole lot about what goes on in the mind of a Black man. You know, I'm talking about from a multiple perspective. So it's for everyone. It's for everyone. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I tell
My
you.
wife, my wife already expressed that.
You know, I tell you, it's just been an absolutely wonderful show, and we're going to continue this the rest of the week and next week. So I encourage everyone to go to Amazon. Amazon, the ebook will be dropping from $7.49 to 99 cents on the 6th of June. Please go out there, spread the word, buy as many of these copies as you can. That you can also give them away as gifts. You also have the hard copy, soft copy available as well. But right now, the bestseller we pushing the ebook because of the value, and it's a whole lot of lessons to be learned. So I'd like to thank each one of you all for taking the time to come on the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, and you all already know that you got to open an invitation anytime you want to. G Soldier, I got to have you back in about 2-3 weeks because we got to talk about those films that you sent me yesterday, and the music as well as a lot of other things that you're doing. Clem, man, you know, man, you're my DAWG, Jack. You know, you're my DAWG. You know, but so I want to thank each and every last one of you for coming on. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. I'd like to thank my viewers and listeners for taking the time to tune into the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life, and always dream big, think big, and be big at everything.
Be big.
Everything you do.
Everything you do. We'll see you tomorrow.